Next podcast episode. I'm in Italy. I just bought this house. I need a fundraising.
Real firm. He's the realest.
Ladies and gentlemen, gentlemen, mostly gentlemen, perhaps. Who knows? Thank you so much for tuning into the Real Firm podcast. It's great to have you here, and it's good to be here myself. Back in 3 in a row solo pod episodes. I'm getting used to it, and I'm starting to kind of enjoy it a lot. So get used to it yourself, hopefully. Maybe it is better than with a guest. I don't know. Certainly. Guests spice things up, but once again, it's just been a bit... Rockstar Life, One Word, Three Eyes, who I've used to do it with a lot. We still see each other, of course, but he's been extra busy lately. And again, I like to have guests, and I want to have guests. I just have a issue of, I set up I have the setup of the car to potentially... No, not to potentially, to definitely interview people in the car because I can't bring them here. But that it's just this whole confidence issue of, you want to do it in my car? It's just like if I had a studio, or if I at least had an apartment or studio apartment, which is probably what I would end up having, or some kind of room, then I wouldn't be as hesitant and timid to be like, hey, let's do this on this day. Are you available? So that's a problem with me, but there are people who I am going to talk to in the future. Stay tuned for it. But right now, we're here, just me and you. And I really appreciate you tuning in. As I said last time, very grateful. As long as you're here, I will be here talking about fun stuff. This time I actually have an outline. I'm starting to really iron things out here. So, this is the firmware update portion. It's funny, if you followed my YouTube career since 2018 or whatever, when I started kind of regularly being on uploading, live streaming and stuff, I used to upload videos called the firmware updates, which are kind of like what I'm doing now, but it wasn't a podcast. It was kind of, but not literally. Just talking about what's been happening recently. And then we're going to get into some news that I find interesting, and hopefully you will too. And then we got a special segment towards the end, that is very appropriate for where I live. We'll just say that for now. Particularly last week, I had a full I didn't go to no events where, no, that's not true. I did go to an event where I was interviewed actually by, I'm forgetting her name, Miss D something. I feel bad for forgetting, but she interviewed me she interviews artists in Tampa at this place called the The Shuffle. It's the name of the bar. Anyway, the Shuffle Remix is the name of the open mic. And Pusha Preem was there shout out Pusha Preem, the Tampa, the king of Tampa hip hop at the moment, I do believe, or we'll call him that either way, because he's a great dude. I've met him a couple times. Twice. And yeah, his music is fantastic. He was there doing like a Q&A. He did a performance at the open mic, which was really super cool. It's just like it's just a small kind of bar. And then the open mic, and then he did a Q&A with everyone there, and then some awesome open mic, a lot of talent over there on the Tampa side. I like to claim Tampa myself, but it's the greater Tampa Bay area in which I reside, but I don't live in Tampa. But it's the most close. I guess St. Pete. No, Tampa is closer than St. Pete technically to where I am as the crow flies, but that's neither here nor there. So yeah, I did go to a show, and that was awesome. But I didn't get any. I've got some footage, but it wasn't like a thing. So I ended up doing a full week of streams. Did a FERM line. That was fun. If you're into that, if you're into me talking and to other people through Discord and just the people that come through the streams and send in music, you can check out the FERM line, archive, VOD, archive, whatever you want to call it, on the main FERM channel. Yeah, and then that was it. And I've been pretty jammed up lately. I've been desperately applying for jobs like I haven't in a while. When I first moved back down here 2 years ago from my career in New York City, I started applying for jobs, but then very quickly it was very bleak and dismal. And I ended up, and then once I started the live streaming thing, I kind of was like, I have some money, let me just try this, let me just lean into this. Well, it turns out that was probably not the smartest thing. Now, granted, I was still applying to jobs here and there, but nothing. It turns out, if you didn't know, I have a master's of science degree in applied physics from New York University. It is a prestigious school. It is a esteemed field of study, and I have work experience in a lab. And this area just does not have the kind of thing. And there's been plenty of jobs I applied to that I should be qualified. I'm either overqualified or underqualified. There's like no in between. Like I can't. At a certain point, I might have to just lower the bar for full. I might just have to work at Publix. That was the first job I got. Not Publix, but a grocery store. When I grew up in Connecticut. Shout out to Stop and Shop. No, anyway, I don't want to think about that, but that's what I've been doing. Trying to get a job before I completely sink into a turmoil of terrible debt. But that's okay. If you want to support me, you can just keep listening and review whatever, like, comment, subscribe, fun stuff. Let's get into the news, shall we? That's the firmware update portion. It's a little bleak, but we're having a good time, keeping the spirits up. So, in the news, briefly, last episode talked about TikTok ban and Taylor Swift. Quick little update on that if you haven't been following along. The TikTok law was signed by President Biden, and the clock is tick-tocking on TikTok, so that's cool. Nothing else to say there, just an update. You already know my opinions on that. If it happens, it is what it is. If not, TikTok is cool for boosting people like me's career that actually like to use TikTok. And then Taylor Swift has been just continuously shattering records. I have to pull that up because it's even surprising me. So Spotify's most pre-saved countdown. There's like some real specific records too. Before Tortured Poets was even released on Spotify, its countdown page on Spotify before it was even released on Spotify, broke the streaming services record for most pre-saves in history. The countdown launched on March 28th, 2 weeks ahead of the album's release date, inviting Swifties to watch as each second ticked down. Spotify also continued to... Yeah, gotcha. So that's fun. Single week vinyl sales... 1.5 million first week sales, 700,000 of those copies were vinyl. Oh, Maron. Really? 700,000? That's almost half were vinyl? That's wild. That breaks Swift's own record. So she's breaking her own record. She's breaking Spotify's records. Insane. For the largest sales week of an album or for an album on vinyl in the modern era. Jesus Christ. Or since Luminate began tracking data in 1991, beating the 693,000 sold of 1989 Taylor's version. All right, so her previous record. Wow, yeah, okay. Continuing on, single day Spotify album streams. Not only did Tortured Poets become Spotify's most streamed album in a single day in history in less than 12 hours after its release, it also became the first album on the platform to amass more than 300 million streams in a single day ever. The streaming service's previous single day record holder was Beyonce, Cowboy Carter, which I talked about on a recent, not too long ago episode, which garnered 300.41 million on-demand official streams in its full week of release. Spotify is even tweeting about history made. On April 19th, Taylor Swift's The Tortured Poets Department was the first album in Spotify history to have over 300 million streams in a single day. Wild. Continuing. Similarly, the opening track on the Tortured Poets Department, Fortnite, featuring the lovely, wonderful Post Malone, broke Spotify's record for the most streams ever garnered by one song in one day. And then another Twitter X, whatever, Taylor Swift's Fortnite became Spotify's most streamed song in a single day on April 19th, one day after my birthday. She couldn't have done it one day earlier. Not that I care that much, but fun observation. Apple Music also shared that the Tortured Poets Department had broken its record for the biggest pop album of all time by first. So Apple Music tweets high enrollment numbers for Taylor Swift's The album broke the record for biggest pop album of all time by first day streams on Apple Music. And it keeps going. Fastest album to 1 billion streams on Spotify. Just 5 days after TTPD was released, it became the first album in Spotify history to surpass 1 billion streams in a single week. It now stands as the fastest album in history to hit the milestone. When you thought she couldn't get any bigger, it's still not over. Biggest streaming week of all time. In its first 6 days on the market, Tortured Poets became the most streamed album in a single week with 799 million streams across all platforms, surpassing Drake's previous record of 745 with his 2018 LP Scorpion, according to Luminate. Perhaps that's what Rockstar Life was thinking about when we had the impromptu argument of who's popular, who's more popular, Drake or Taylor Swift. I'm pretty sure it's Taylor Swift now, cemented in history, at least for now. I mean, hats off to the woman. There should be some sort of antitrust, anti-monopoly laws at this point for music. That's a joke, obviously. We don't want anti-competition laws in art, but the people love her. I listened to the Fortnite song. I listened to one or two others. It's a good sound. It's a good time. I get why people like it, especially why the teenage girls, preteen girls, little boys and girls, all in between. Shout out to the Swifties. Shout out to Taylor Swift. Not that will ever know my name or what is happening here, but I still bow my hats off, and hats back on. So I just figured I'd give an update on, because of what I said, of what I was talking about last time. Fun times. Taylor and TikTok continue to break the internet, essentially. And I got some other interesting news, but quick, I need a sip of beer and a breath. I've now programmed in the button on my Stream Deck, so I know when to press it instead of having to edit it in post. All right, so I've got two more fun articles. Interesting articles, and then some fun ones to close us out here. So this is a concept that I have been fantasizing about myself, moving to Italy, of which my ancestors descended from. I am 75% fully Italian. One of my grandparents my grandmother on my dad's side was a Eastern European, Central European mutt of sorts, but shout out to her for the diversity. You don't, sometimes 100% Italian, I don't know. But, so I get a little mix in there. But anyway, and knowing the language myself, not fully fluent, but pretty good, I would say. I've never been to Italy. And people, apparently, people are buying houses over there for €1, which is insane. This is an article here from CNN. This is just the headline. He visited Italy for the first time and bought a house within 24 hours. A house purchase is one of the trickiest life experiences to negotiate, requiring blah, blah, blah. Unless, of course, you're Paul Millet, in which case you land in Italy for the first time, and before the first day is done, you've bought yourself a beautiful old house with great views in the middle of southern Italy's Basilicata region. But Millet, a Los Angeles-based television editor, knew exactly what he was doing. The 54-year-old was lured to Italy by houses being sold for €1, just over $1, but he quickly realized that these came with a catch. The need to spend thousands to make them livable. So they're just giant dumps, fixer-uppers, as they, I believe, is called in the real estate industry. He says, I read an article on CNN. So am I. About the next podcast episode. I'm in Italy. I've just bought this house. I need a fundraising to fix. No. About the €1 properties being offered back in 2015, and my interest was definitely piqued. He says, I had been to various countries in the European Union on several occasions, but never Italy. So it was his first time in Italy, and he just buys a house immediately. I cannot express exactly why I was drawn to the idea of buying a €1 property and renovating it, but it was something that captured my imagination. I mean, yeah, I'd do that, and I'd make a whole YouTube series out of it. If I had the funds. I have the funds of €1, but I don't have the funds to fix it up. Instead, Millet turned his attention to other properties that, while more expensive because we're essentially already moving, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, he buys a house in Italy for a tiny amount. There's a fun picture of him in a shitty, broken down house. That's fun. He moved to Italy and just immediately buy a house within 24 hours. That's pretty wild. Shout out to him. I hope that's a goal of mine. Not really, but having a residence in Italy, I guess. Yeah, let's put it on the list of goals for the bucket list. The Real FERM bucket list, which I've just coined now. I do not believe I've ever uttered that phrase. You've heard it here first, and that's the first item on the bucket list. So yeah, it goes on to list his whole adventure about it and other things, but we'll move on because I don't want this to go too long, and I have some other interesting stuff that I want to get into. I think I tapped the mic there. Hopefully that wasn't tapping into your ears too hard. I'll fix it in post. Don't know why I even mentioned that. This is what I'm 51 episodes, still getting used to it. I just finally started outlining each episode. Give me a break. Thank you for continuing to listen, and enjoy this drink break sound one more time as we move into the next article, which is about Drake. Bud Light Platinum. Not about Bud Light Platinum, but that is what I'm drinking, and because it was buy one, get one free 12 case at Publix. Again, shout out to Publix. I may end up working there for the rest of my life. Headline, Drake removes AI-altered tailor-made. It's the name of the track. Nothing to do with Taylor Swift, I don't think, but it is spelled that way. Taylor, Taylor, made. Diss track after legal threat from Tupac Shakur's team. So I didn't hear about this until I saw this article. But apparently he made a track called Tailor Made Freestyle featuring Tupac AI and Snoop Dogg AI as a Kendrick Lamar diss. This is all part of the fucking childish hip hop feud thing that's still going on. So, this whole thing that he's done here is very strange to me. I mean, it's kind of cool, but Tupac and Snoop Dogg's still alive, and you're using an AI thing to make a diss about Kendrick Lamar. I guess people were saying, I read some of the comments under the video. So people were saying that he was using them because Kendrick Lamar is like idolizes the West Coast hip hop early scene or something like that. So to kind of stick it to him in some way through AI, which is bizarre. But okay, I listened to it. It was very strange. Anyway, the legal team of the Tupac Shakur estate not immediately, because it was released on, let's see, let me just go through this here. In a legal showdown reminiscent of the rap battles of old, Tupac Shakur's estate has taken on a modern-day hip-hop sensation Drake over a contentious track. Lawyers representing the late rapper warned Drake that failure to remove his latest song, Tailor Made, featuring AI alter vocals imitating Tupac, would result in legal action. It appears that Drake has heeded the warning swiftly. I just thought that was Swift, Drake. These two names just keep popping up. Tailor Made. What's happening? Anyway, swiftly removing the contentious track from his X profile, so he uploaded it to X. The clash began when Drake unveiled Tailor Made on April 19th. Again, I'm also all realizing this right now. The same day that Taylor broke all her records, perhaps I don't know. I didn't get too much into the lyrics of the track and everything, but it doesn't seem like it had anything to do with Taylor Swift. But it is called Tailor Made, spelled like Taylor, as in Taylor Swift. But maybe there's another Taylor in the rap scene. I don't know, or it's just a fun way to spell. I don't know. April 19th. The article's using terms swiftly. Maybe I'm just being schizophrenic and having imaginary thinking. Let's move on. Using it as a salvo in his ongoing feud with fellow rapper Kendrick Lamar. Speculation abounds that Drake's decision to incorporate AI-generated renditions of Tupac's voice stems from Lamar's admiration for hip-hop icons Snoop Dogg and Tupac. Despite never officially hitting streaming platforms, smart move, of course, yeah, that would be really dumb. The track's viral spread across the internet raised concerns within Tupac's estate about potential financial gains for Drake. I mean, yeah, it makes waves in the internet, makes him more popular, indirectly leading to financial gain, sure. While the exact monetary impact remains murky, the removal of Tailor Made suggests Drake's acknowledgement of the legal jeopardy posed by the AI-altered homage. The incident highlights a broader debate within the music industry surrounding the use of AI technology to replicate deceased artists' voices. Very strange, very sketchy, very disturbing, in my opinion. Cool in a way, but the way he used it, not even like in the song, just like the fact that he used it in this way is creepy. Drake's experiment with AI-generated vocals serves as a prominent example, raising concerns among peers who view such innovations as a potential threat to artistic integrity and livelihoods. Agreed. Business Today, which is the outlet on which this article I am reading is on. So yeah, so that's very bizarre. So he was almost sued by the Tupac Shakur estate for using. I mean, it is wild, and you can go. The comment section is the top comment on the video. So the YouTube channel Bag Only, with 873,000 subscribers, must be. I don't know if it has anything to do with Drake, but some kind of hip hop channel or something. Drake, tailor-made freestyle with lyrics. The top comment on it is, stealing Tupac voice and still sounding like Drake is wild, lol. Bunch of Drake disses, bunch of Drake stands, that kind of thing, back and forth. Just ridiculous comment argumentation. Using Snoop's voice while he's still alive is a crime. What? Kind of agreed. It's pretty weird. From having ghostwriters to write bars to having bars written for ghosts, Drake came a long way. Drake seems to be rubbing a lot of people the wrong way based on reception in the comments sections of things lately, I've noticed. But whatever, he's doing his thing. And of course, his big old schlong, which I took a gander at on a previous episode. If you didn't see that or listen to that one, you can find it somewhere. You can find it here on this stream of podcasts, audio, or on the channel. Anyway, yeah, I guess that's all I have to say about that. Very weird. It is. I could go into a deep AI music thing, but I've kind of done that a lot already in previous episodes, philosophizing about the AI music generation. But this is just like AI filter stuff, recreation of voice sounds, not complete generation. I think it was Drake rapping over with an AI with a filter that makes him sound like Tupac and Snoop Dogg. I'm not 100% sure, but anyway, that's fun. So let's move on to the final segment, which is Florida Man of the Week. No, it is not me. It might be. You might, if the podcast episode doesn't come up one week, check the Florida Man news, and I might be found naked outside of a Walmart parking lot, screaming at another naked man in the Walmart parking lot as well. But for now, it is not me. It is actually there's kind of two. Encoding overload. Consider turning down video settings. Oh, hopefully this is still recording. I think it is. I think we're still good. But it did tell me encoding overload. Anyway, one of them is man stabbed at Pinellas Park, Wawa. Wawa, if you don't know, you should know. It's a very prominent convenience store, gas station, originating out of the Philly area, I believe, but it has made its way to Florida in the past decades or so. Pinellas County, of which I reside and in which I was born. Headline: I will kill you. Delirious woman stabbed man with Wawa deli knife. Pinellas Park police say. I'm not going to go too crazy into this, but yeah, some crazy woman grabbed a large fixed blade from the deli and started stabbing a dude for no reason, it seems. Officer said she then stabbed a man in the hand and then entered a small office where she threatened an employee, shouting, "I will kill you," while raising the knife. She smashed several items. She was the affidavit said the woman was in a stated of goddamn typos. Get it right. Excited delirium from an unknown substance. I can't stand when news are there's got to be. I think I said this last time. There's got to be every single time you post something on some kind of mainstream news outlet, have a AI grammar check real quick. It takes 2 seconds. Crane was arrested on charges of attempted murder, criminal mischief, assault, and aggravated battery. That's the Florida Woman of the Week. Shout out to her. Now the Florida Man of the Week. Florida man disguised as woman. Accused of stealing boat. So kind of a little half and half. Tampa, Florida. A Florida man, actually no, I don't think it was in Tampa. It's just the news station. A Florida man decided to put on his best dress to steal a boat on Wednesday afternoon. According to the Glades County Sheriff's Office, just after 3 p.m., deputies were investigating a stolen boat in the old Calusa Lodge area in Lakeport, just west of Lake Okeechobee. While deputies were surveying the area, they spotted the suspect, identified as Joshua Kolotka, 33, leaving a nearby home dressed as a woman to disguise himself. Kolotka was arrested for the stolen boat, the theft of a John Deere Gator vehicle, and for 2 Okeechobee County warrants. Previous warrants, all right. That's why he was trying to dress as a woman to disguise himself. Makes sense. Officials also said several miscellaneous items that were possibly stolen were found within the same area. They are working with Seminole police to identify these items. That's it. Crazy man dressed as a woman, probably not trans, just trying to be in disguise, probably because he had outstanding warrants and was trying to steal a boat. That's what he tried to do. He's arrested. Florida Man of the Week. Congratulations, sir. Round of applause. Do we have the man's name? Oh, I already said it. Duh. Joshua Kolotka, 33. Shout out to you. Hope you're doing well in the Okeechobee County jail. Next time, just maybe disguise yourself even more. I don't know. Other than that, that's going to wrap us up. We got the 30 minutes plus. Thank you all for watching, tuning in, listening, whatever you're doing. If you're still listening, watching, thank you so much for hanging with me. I felt like I was a little shaky in terms of stream of consciousness, but we're going to keep going forward, keep getting better. So much love. Hit the like button, hit the rate review if you like on the audio platforms. If you're just listening, you can always check out the video as well. I've got, of course, me and the headline, all of the visual stuff that come along with it at Real Firm Podcast on YouTube. And yeah, fun times. See ya. Talk to you next week. Perhaps a guest. Perhaps we're going to go 4 in a row. We already hit the turkey of solo episodes here. We'll see what happens next week. Keep you on your toes, I guess. Have a good rest of the other week and time in between. Peace and love. Florida is Florida #1.